And back in the United States, protests swept across several American cities on Labor Day as thousands voiced their opposition to President Donald Trump's decision to deploy National Guard troops and federal immigration agents. From Chicago to Washington, from New York to San Francisco, demonstrators marched with banners, chanted slogans, and sang songs, turning a holiday rooted in workers' rights into a broader statement of political resistance. The largest crowds gathered in Chicago, with organizers estimated between 5,000 and 10,000 participants. The demonstration was part of nearly 1,000 workers over billionaires protests nationwide, but in Chicago, the message was especially sharp. Now, that's because President Trump has threatened to send National Guard troops and federal immigration agents into the Windy City, a move many in the state and city see as federal overreach. Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson joined the marchers and pledged that the city would resist.
Federal troops in the city of Chicago. No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago.
Protesters expressed fears that the arrival of federal forces could spark violence, even as homicide rates in Chicago have fallen in recent years.
Issues. He's violent. His actions toward people, his action toward workers is tantamount to a crisis that Americans have never seen before. I'm a veteran of the United States Army, and I'll tell you one thing. I did not go to Vietnam to come back to fight for something like this. I'm out here today for all of my retired sisters and brothers who are going to be subjected to walking, dying in the streets because of the lack of the safety net that has been eliminated by Donald Trump and his Doge group.
What scares me the most is that there's not more people out in the streets right now. And every day and every weekend. And I want my weekends back.
And in a bit of breaking news, we're just learning that a judge has ruled that Donald Trump's deployment of National Guard in California has been deemed unlawful. Still, local and state leaders have already prepared to fight any deployment in court if Donald Trump decides to move troops into Chicago. Legal experts say such a move could violate the U.S. Constitution and long-standing laws against using the military for domestic policing. Meanwhile, immigrant rights groups have worked to fortify their defenses by working to hire more attorneys, staffing immigration hotlines, and launching more Know Your Rights training. Mayor Johnson signed an executive order barring city police from working with federal troops or immigration officers. Elsewhere, rallies took place with equal fervor. In New York, crowds gathered outside Trump Tower chanting, "Trump must go now," and carrying signs denouncing what they called a fascist regime. Large gatherings also took place in Washington, D.C., and protesters took to the streets in San Francisco and other West Coast cities. Labor Day has often been a moment to spotlight workers, but this year became a platform for testing the balance of power between federal authority and city leadership. With Trump's threat still hanging over Chicago and lawsuits likely to continue to follow, this fight will certainly test the limits of executive power right in the communities and neighborhoods of millions of Americans.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
$36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka kaljo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$1 idioma.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.